please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So. Would you like me to call the roll?
In a minute. In 1 second, Jamie?
Oh no, we're live.
Oh, we are, okay, yep. Call it.
Okay, Ms. Muth, please call the roll.
Absolutely. Frost.
Here.
No.
Here.
Arwell.
Here.
Orson. Moons here. Shang. Weisberg.
Here.
We are 5 tonight.
Shang.
Oh, and here comes some more winners.
Gorson.
Hey, Orson.
Here.
Here.
You just missed it.
Yeah.
And Faye.
Where's Faye?
Coming through the back door. All right.
I hear the door. Oh, here comes Miss Faye. Hello.
Sorry.
Just say here.
Present.
Shane. Good.
Do we have any correspondence?
None that's reasonable. No, we don't have any correspondence, no.
Doesn't look like there are any visitors tonight for visitor
Oh,
statements.
thank God.
So, and we know student report, so we're on to new business.
All right, well, thank you. Thanks everybody for being here, braving the cold, and at the same time, we've tried to keep this meeting relatively short, so there's no student activities report tonight, nor is there a team presentation. We just thought with the COVID numbers the way they are, that we would just err on the side of caution. So in addition, as you know, there's a relatively short amount of time between the December meeting and the January meeting. So we do not have any items for curriculum instruction and assessment. The personnel items are included in the human resources report, so you can have a look at those there, and that'll be part of the consent agenda. And we do have a couple items in the business section, so Sean, take it away.
The first thing is Steve, Brittany, and I completed the audit or the request for services for auditing services, the request for proposal, I should say. We sent out 9 packets to various certified public accounting firms. We received 7 back. Of the 7, we did interview 4 of them. We chose not to interview Evoy, Cam Schulte, and Jacobs, who is our current auditor, because we already kind of know everything about them. The interviews went very well, and we were able to narrow down to 2 firms. And at the end, after some discussion and analysis, we are going to be recommending tonight to the Board of Education to award the contract for audit services to Lauterbach and Amann at a cost not to exceed $86,700 for the life of the 3-year contract. And just to, for comparison, this is more than what we were paying currently, but is the almost the similar price as to what Evoy, Cam Schulte, and Jacobs quoted us as we changed to a modified accrual basis.
Okay, can I please have a motion to?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, any questions?
I got a question.
Sure.
What didn't you like about our existing guy?
We've been with them for so long, we don't have a specific policy on rotation, but their firm is really shrunk in size. And we were looking for a change in our auditing partners, and in order to do that, they don't have the manpower to change who is overseeing our audit to get a fresh set of eyes.
So is the answer you wanted a fresh set of eyes?
Well, the answer is that a good practice is to rotate your auditing team every 5 years. If you can do that within a firm because of the size of the firm, you can rotate your partner. But because of the size of Evoy, we just can't do that.
Is
Can I make a couple of, I'm sorry.
Oh, is moving to the accrual basis more complicated in terms of the auditing and the accounting? Is that,
Yes.
does that change things a bit?
Correct.
Okay, sorry, Steve, go ahead.
Gotta raise your hand.
So I'm raising my hand, but no one's calling up. No, I wanted to make a couple of quick comments. First of all, I did sit through the interviews with Sean and Brittany, and I just want the board to know that Sean and Brittany really impressed me. They put together really good, thorough questions, and they engaged each of the people that were interviewed. I thought they asked good questions. They really got a good understanding of what the different firms were about and what they would offer us. And I just want to give them a shout out because if you didn't see the process, you don't appreciate what they did for us. And I think they went with a firm that they didn't originally think they were going to go with in response to what they saw, and then also they followed up on the references and spoke with people about the different firms. And so they put a lot of effort into it, and I just want to give them a shout out. Having said that, I just want to also point out that there were other differences with the firms that they really focus on. For example, there were more quality control and reviewed by other partners within the firm. The firm that we're picking focuses on governmental services. Everyone in their firm does some kind of government work, and they've developed this area of expertise with school districts and have really been pleasing a lot of their clients and impressed us in the calls. I just thought the process went really well, and they did a great job. And happy with how they handled it.
Now that you said that, you're not asking for a raise.
No. Nothing unordinary.
Okay, so can you please pull, any other questions? We good? Can you please pull the board?
Sure. No.
Aye.
Arwell. I'll get back to her. Gorson.
Aye.
Moon's aye. Chang.
Aye.
Weisberg.
Aye.
Frost.
Aye.
Hina.
I think she mentioned my name. You got a good seat. I think she went to the ladies' room.
I know she did.
Joking.
Well,
Forward, how many?
I got a 6-2
There you go.
no vote.
There.
So I'll write just down absent for right now. Okay, it carried.
Okay, thank you. At the November board meeting, if you recall, the board approved the intent to sell $17 million in limited tax bonds to fund the remainder of the East Building Addition Phase 2 project. The board then held a public hearing on December 13th to receive input from our community. Tonight, we are taking the next step, which is to adopt a resolution authorizing the actual issuance of the sale. Following any discussion, it is recommended that the Board of Education approve the resolution providing for the issue of not to exceed $17 million in general obligation limited tax school bonds, Series 2022B, for the purpose of increasing the working cash fund, providing for the levy of a direct annual tax to pay the principal and interest on said bonds, and authorizing the proposed sale of said bonds to the purchaser thereof.
Pursuant to.
Are you gonna move?
Can I please have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Any questions for Sean? Okay, can we please poll the board?
Arwell.
Aye.
Gorson.
Aye.
Moon's aye. Shane.
Aye.
Weisberg.
Aye.
Frost.
Aye.
Thanks. No.
Aye.
The motion carries.
And I should point out, I probably should have said this before, but Standard & Poor's with our ratings call was very pleased with the answers that we gave to the call and did in fact assign us a AAA bond rating for that issuance.
Very good.
The next agenda item I have is part of the process of issuing new bonds is we need to restructure the existing $34 million of outstanding debt. Because of the current interest rate environment, we are able to save $1,952,417 in interest as a result of this restructuring. So following any discussion, it is recommended that the Board of Education approve the resolution providing for the issue of not to exceed $34 million in taxable general obligation limited tax refunding school bonds, Series 2022A, for the purpose of refunding outstanding bonds, providing for a levy of a direct annual tax to pay the principal and interest on said bonds, and authorizing the investment in said bonds by the education fund of the district.
Please have a motion.
So moved.
So moved. Second.
Thank you.
All right, questions for
I got a
Sean?
question. You're all done, and it's fine. But are you floating a GO non-refund, a I know, a GO, non-refundable to refund something?
Yeah, we have to
Is that what
refund,
you're doing?
we have to refund ours before we can issue.
Okay,
That's correct.
all right.
So what is the expected?
The expected coupon rate, was going to be like 1%-ish, 1 to 1.25% on the refunding.
And on the 17 million?
We have our ratings call on Wednesday, or our sales call, I should say, on Wednesday. That's gonna be a little higher, obviously, because it's being issued. Sure. It's a new issuance.
Still a good deal.
Still very good.
Okay, would you please poll the board?
Certainly. Gorson.
Aye.
Moon's aye. Shang.
Aye.
Weisberg.
All right,
Frost.
Aye.
Thank you. No.
Aye.
Irwell. Aye. Carries 7-0.
And then, of course, you can see our Freedom of Information request. It was a rather lengthy one, but just one this particular month.
Was that difficult to do?
No, not difficult, just a little time consuming.
And who is this guy who wanted it and why? Do we know?
No idea.
He's actually
He's this
part of the
211
union
IFT.
at 211, teachers union at 211. So he's probably looking for information as they negotiate their agreement.
Makes sense.
Interesting.
That's all I have tonight.
Okay. Dr. Twidell?
Consent.
Oh, sorry. Oh, do it? Okay. So we move on to the consent agenda. Can I please have a motion to approve the consent?
so moved.
Second.
Thank you.
Any, please poll the board.
Moon's, oh, aye. Shang.
Aye.
Weisberg.
Aye,
Frost.
Aye.
No.
Aye.
Irwell. Aye. Frost. I got two Frosts. This must.
Aye, yeah.
Oh, it's Gorson.
it's cold outside, it's frosty.
Thank you.
Did you get everybody?
All right. Thank you, everybody. Just a couple final items tonight under the informational report. First, you can see the work that Mark and our librarians in the Communication Arts Division put in updating the library collection development policies. So if you have any questions about that, feel free to let myself or Mark know. Also, just in front of you, for a little bit of light reading, you can put on your nightstand is a fully updated Open Meetings Act and Freedom of Information Act pamphlet from
Lovely.
the, I think, Attorney General's office. So,
School board.
IASB, okay, very good. Feel free to read that at your leisure. Also, just wanted to make note that we are going to be reaching out with some requests for dates for a site and facilities committee meeting and possibly a finance committee meeting, Sean, to discuss the summer of 2022 campus improvement,
22 and 23.
22 and 23 projects. So hopefully sometime in February. So we'll send some requests out for dates for that. And then given that we're have all of our students back after a break. We're still in the middle of this pandemic. We thought it would be a good idea to school-wide spend a little time on providing students with continued social emotional supports. And so Troy wanted to give just an update on what we're gonna be doing this winter.
Yeah, so we're really excited to have the opportunity brought on by the state to provide all students with 5 mental health days. And so a student can call in, they can take a mental health day. It will be excused. It won't show up in any way for the teachers or anybody else to know it's just an excused day. They can make up their work. And the one thing that it's actually in the statute and we also believe in is if students are taking multiple mental health days, we're gonna call them down and find out how we can help. So I think it's a great opportunity for kids who feel the stress of school and worry about that perfect attendance and all those sorts of things to take a day where they don't have to feel like they've got a doctor's note to support why they're staying home, and give them that space. So it is 5 per year. That's what's been allowed by the state. But we're going with 5 for second semester because the law came into effect last week. So count this as a year for the first time. And quite honestly, we could all use one, right?
Yeah, this year.
And there's certainly a lot of kids who.
Yeah, and I think it'll be something that'll really help students. Dave?
How are we doing? What's your sense of how we're doing and how the kids doing?
That's a great question. The kids are doing awesome. The kids are happy to be in school. And masks are uncomfortable, but quite honestly, our kids are pretty good at them now. That's they're used to it. I have a young son. He spent 20% of his life in a mask, right? Like you think about what that looks like. So they're pretty good at it. And school has been a great outlet. Because we want to make sure that we've decreased the density of kids in the lunchroom, we've expanded lunch into both the field house and the sports center. And so you can really spread out. There's some individual seats to take, but it's still just great to walk through the lunchroom and see a group of kids at the lunch table having a chat, right? Like that is the best part.
What's your sense of how they're handling the stress? The stress of being different.
Yeah, I think for them at this point, they're so happy to be with their friends. And after, I think that the year away, whatever it was not a year, 6 months and a half away, really taught them the lesson of how important it is to be social. And they value, I have kids tell me all the time, like, I didn't really want to get up this morning. Then I'm like, you know what? It's a great day to come to school. Like they're in that place of being at school it's way better than being on Zoom.
How about the staff?
So I think, here's the thing, the staff, I was worried coming back, and they are, they're so dedicated to the work that they do with our students, and I couldn't be prouder of how hard I know it's difficult for them. And, there's about 200 kids that are out on quarantine right now, ish. And it's about 180 now. And so, that's a lot. When you think about all those kids, they each have 5 or 6 classes. Pretty much every teacher's got a Zoom going on at some point in their day. And they're just excited. Again, they're a lot like the kids. Teachers really thrive on the interactions that they have with kids. And that's why we do this job. And I think there's a pretty healthy understanding of how much they missed on that last year. And I think people are just happy to stand in front of their class and talk about stoichiometry or,
I'm always hawking you and Eric about, you're the two that have to know when the plate is too full.
Mhm.
And I trust you totally. I just worry that it's silent suffering. And
It's a lot. I will
Well,
tell
think
you.
we're at the upper limit.
Yeah,
I'm sure you are.
Yeah,
it's
I
the
just wonder
Thanksgiving
you're not
dinner
going
plate,
over.
right? It's full. Like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of food on that plate. There's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, no,
But I do think that people just have such an appreciation for being back. And I will tell you, there's some people that are scared right now, you know, with the numbers as high as they are, of course they are. But they're doing such good work with our kids. I just walked through the field house on the way out here, and all at once, there was fencing practice, there was basketball practice, the cheerleaders were practicing, and there's a consortium choir, I think, or band concert, something like that, in the PAC. That's what I walked by just to get here in 1 5-minute period. And they're just coming back. We had 60 kids go to a ski trip this weekend.
You know,
Ski trip.
I appreciate that you're keeping those things rolling and keeping all of their activities, and I think that is as important to them as sitting in class, and
Yep.
you know, to a lot of kids, that's so meaningful. So I think that's a great thing to just, you know, if you can be in school and wear a mask, you can do those things and wear a mask and be
Right.
safe, and you know, I do applaud that there's not a lot of shifting and taking things away from them, because I do think that helps, to your point, Dave. I think that, you know, you've got to keep things as normal as possible.
And I think that the kids really appreciate that.
They do.
is there anything, or can you come up with anything, not now, but down the road, that will easily convey to the staff that we understand and we appreciate it?
we've given that some thought. We may ask you all to help us with that at some point.
Well, I mean,
I think
it would go a long way
For sure.
for people that are really in combat here to know you're not alone. We understand, we wish there was something to do.
Yeah.
We may,
And
we may
I'd like,
deploy you for some.
well, I'm serious,
Yeah.
I'd like to say thank you,
Yeah.
or in some meaningful way to say we appreciate it. We understand.
Even as simple as an email or something that we could send to the staff. I mean, anything you think.
Yep.
I think Dave.
We have some ideas. We will,
Okay.
we'll talk about it.
And I think that's a really great point, and we normally have a little celebration right at the end of the semester, and we do our prominent page, or our super pats and our awards for faculty, and we didn't do it this semester because the numbers were getting worse. And it was like, probably don't need to bring all of our staff together, I mean, what if we get everyone sick? Well, that's probably not a great idea.
Yeah.
So, just, you know, we just keep missing, some of those opportunities are there, so
I suppose what I would really like is just to somehow convey that we understand.
yeah.
And we're not just sitting here with our heads in the ground or any other orifice, that
Speak
we
for
understand.
Yep.
And that goes a long way, it did for me. And I would like to just have them know we're in it with them as best as we can be.
For sure.
That's probably what they need to hear, that very thing.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
Troy, I'm curious, if there's 180 kids out now, I was talking with Eric, I think the first day last week, and early last week, weren't you at about 150? So have the numbers been creeping up?
You know, we're actually we were able to bring back about 50 kids today. So we have a lot of kids who started the year on quarantine because of the over break. So that number is actually coming back, and it's gonna bring the number down. I think the number that you're seeing now is the highest it's gonna get. It's gonna come down from here because we started the semester with a lot of kids coming off of quarantine who were positive. And so they're coming
And
back.
how about the teachers?
Oh,
The numbers are pretty good.
The number, we're in the 20s.
That number will come down significantly when we move from the 10 to the 5-day quarantine.
20s is a number or is a percent?
20 is a number.
Number.
Okay.
Out of 350.
Yeah,
It's pretty good.
that's good.
Yeah, we're really happy. And I think, you know, we have a lot of vaccinated teachers, and I think that's paying off.
I mean, 98% of our folks are vaccinated, so.
It's really paying off now. When we got to this point, it's helping them stay healthy.
It's all the difference.
Are we still providing the volunteering population test?
Yes.
So whoever needs to get a test will be tested.
Well, the population whoever wants to be part of the population testing can be part of the population testing, yes.
Yeah, and we have a sign-up form. We'll actually probably put that out again in a week or two here in the E-Minute Manor Daily Digest in case other people want to sign up. But we'll just get you a bag full of test tubes and the stickers, the labels that are for you. You can't just show up on a Tuesday and say like, I'd like to start the test. We have to, gives us a day to get us the stuff together.
And we advertised that a little bit over break or near the end of break and got Sean, I forget exactly how many new kids and teachers, but
Yeah, we got a couple hundred
new folks, so.
So what would trigger a quarantine?
So a quarantine or the school going remote?
No, like the 180 kids who are on quarantine, how?
So you either have COVID, you're a positive test, so we would, if you come back flagged on our saliva test, we then ask you have to take either a Binax test or a PCR test to get us a positive result. And then if you have COVID, you will be out for 5 days and until your symptoms are done and you're 1 day fever-free. So also, if you are a close contact, and this one's pretty complicated, there's a lot of ifs and ands. So if you're a close contact and you weren't wearing masks, or you live in the same home and you're vaccinated or unvaccinated, all those things have different outcomes, but they could get you quarantined also. So it's that.
So I guess what I'm curious, so do all those kids who are quarantined get the Zoom links?
Yeah,
Is
so
that something we are making sure?
it is a lot of working parts, because every kid has 5 or 6 classes. And so all of those teachers, we do our best to protect everybody's privacy, so we don't put it out in a big way. We just send it directly to those teachers and they have to get the Zoom link back to the kid. And with the 5-day quarantine, by the time we find out that they have COVID and we get the Zoom links out to them, usually they only get the Zoom links for about 2 or 3 days. Because, normally you don't know you have COVID, you go home, you get a test, maybe you feel sick, you stay home 1 day, then you get a test, you've already missed a day or two before we even know to give you the Zoom links. So it's not perfect, like they don't happen immediately, but
It takes a couple days to get it going.
Once we get confirmation that you have COVID, we're getting the links. And then, we're also still counting those are days that students are absent. So they're excused absences, of course, because of COVID. But we just have some questions about that too. You're marked absent, but you can watch class from home on Zoom. Because you weren't here, So
how's your feeling? Do you feel right now what we're going through is the worst?
Well, the worst is the worst is an interesting word.
Why would you ask that question?
I think it's gonna get better. I think we're in a place
I
where
want to hear this.
it's gonna get better.
From your mouth to God's ears.
Yep.
Sorry, one last question,
Yeah.
then I'll get off this. There's 6 of you here tonight, working for the company. How are you doing? You okay?
Yeah.
Plate-wise, you okay?
Yes, very good.
You guys okay?
Oh, yeah.
I'd like to know if you're not. You doing okay?
Sure.
We rely on each other.
We do.
It's a good team.
I mean, I'll be honest, I was out for a couple of days pending a test result, and I was really just itching to get back.
Well, I appreciate that. I just wanna know that the stress is manageable. I don't wanna make mistakes when the oven gets too hot. That's all I'm saying. Okay.
We're doing okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else on that? So, last item, you have in front of you a memo from the ISBE, specifically from Jeremy Duffy, who I believe works in the counselor's office for ISB. And this is a follow-up to the conversations that we've been having about the residential placement issues and challenges that we've been having. If you recall, we had a lengthy conversation about that. We, as a result of those conversations, really leaned on our school district council and other resources and networks that we have, and tried to collaborate with ISB to see, what exactly their thinking was behind not reimbursing those students for the residential placement in non-approved facilities when a hearing officer actually requires us to do so. And ISB has turned a corner and actually has made the decision to reimburse districts for those non-approved facility placements.
Really?
Yeah,
Does that include us?
that includes us.
Wow.
So that is a big deal.
That's a big
Is this
deal.
specific for the young man?
Yes.
Good for them.
And all
And
other
others.
kids,
No, I know,
Yeah.
but
yes.
that's such a horrible story.
Yeah, and so we feel really grateful that ISB listened. I think they understand the spot that they, I think, maybe inadvertently put districts in. And so they've been very, very
It's the right thing to
receptive.
do.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no kidding.
So again, I thought you might want to read that memo. You have a copy of it in front of you. It's really, I just,
Proud.
I was just really happy that they, we can complain a lot about, the state and ISB and things that happen. This is something good that they did, and they should be applauded for it, so good for
It's
them.
good news.
Don't ask for a raise.
And that's all I have.
Eric, I know you've been talking with Joel and with Dan,
Yep,
because I know Dan was gonna introduce some legislation for us.
he did,
Do they,
yeah. And we're gonna keep going with that. ISB's actually asked us to keep going with that, so,
They wanna be part of it.
yeah, they wanna be part of it.
okay.
Is that it? Can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved. Second.
And a roll, is it a roll or a voice vote?
It's a voice vote. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Oh, motion carries.
All right,
All right, we're
thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Everyone be safe.
You too.
Steve.